Hello, greetings. And I am Susan Detroit. I'm an artist. I am currently working in digital art, which means I use my iPhone and my iPad to create sort of fanciful, digitally generated pieces. I hung a couple behind me, and I'm going to move my screen up just for a moment so you can see a couple of the pieces that I've reproduced in paper prints. This one here is using an app called, I believe it's a planetary app, Alien Planet, I believe it's called. This one I created from some images of myself at the beach, and I thought having them behind me might be helpful in terms of understanding the current work that I'm doing. And I'm hoping that eventually there'll be one or two people coming on in the chat. If not, I'm just going to talk for another 14 minutes until the live video premiere starts on YouTube. And what I'm premiering is a short video that I made that combines some pieces that I created in the Portrait of a Woman series with a video landscape. I use editing tools and a variety of applications to make my art. 99% of my work is created on an iPad, a fairly large iPad. And I also take pictures of myself using my iPhone. And then I use those pictures and blend them and edit them into these kinds of pieces. So I'm going to move my, you have this backdrop in my office. So you can see those. On my channel, I also have a number of videos that feature work from my past, although I still have some of those pieces, and I'm currently not working in those series. The two series that are featured on my channel are transfer prints, which I'm going to show you a couple that I have here to share. Transfer prints that are made with solvents and matte medium. In the past, I used kind of toxic solvents, but I'm not doing that anymore. I'm only using a type of material called matte medium, and I'm going to bring one up here that I have. It's a frame piece. A lot of the pieces, those pieces in that transfer print series use cactus and dragonfly imagery. And I did that series primarily during the 90s. And I used imagery that I copied on an older type copy machine. And I would use a solvent to transfer that, like acetone sometimes, to transfer that onto paper. So it was a paper to paper transfer. And this is one of the pieces. It's not a very good, there you go. Where I used cactus imagery, and then I would mark on it with a color pencil and watercolor pencil, occasionally acrylic paint, but mostly I used pencils to go in and do the details. And I have in my channel, on my channel, um, videos about packing tape transfer, and there may be one on decaling the edges. And all the pieces that I did for that series, I came to call it Worship of the Precious, for the cactus and the dragonfly imagery. I mount and frame them in a kind of botanical way. I spent a few years when I was returning to university working in herbarium, where they were cataloging plants, and I worked there, and I feel influenced by the work that I did there with David Wagner. Was the person that influenced me a lot. And so for many years, my work had that as part of its presentation, the way that the edges were deckled, and also the way they were framed and matted. I used for a while. Some of them have a float mount that works really well, and that was a technique that I learned in that time that I returned to university for several years. And I also worked as a photographer in a optics lab. So all of that time influenced the art I was making, and that series went on for several years. It started when I was at university in the late 90s, and then I continued into the 2000s. Occasionally, I use those techniques when I'm doing hard copy work, which is a pretty small amount of my time, but every once in a while, I'm actually working on a secret project right now with many other artists, and I'm using those techniques, but no words on that or information until later in this year and then into the next year. The other thing I wanted to show was the way that, I think I was talking about the different series that I had. So there was the Transfer, Worship of Precious, that's on that are featured in the on my channel. And another one that I will probably do some presentation on the next live chat about was work that I generated during my cancer years, which I was actually reminded to just lately, because a friend artist is currently having treatment for cancer, and I spent a number of years in that situation, receiving treatment and doing recovery from treatment, and attempting to put my life back together after treatment and the life experience that I had. So that work is on the channel, and I will have some hard copy about that the next time I do a chat. I hope to do that. And then this current series that I'm doing started about 6 years ago, and it was initiated by feelings that I was having in regards to aging. And they were not happy feelings. I was displeased and stressed about the way that my brain was talking to me. I did not like it. So I started thinking about ways to cope with that. I mean, it didn't happen immediately. It took me some time to actually realize I could use my art in order to hopefully adjust my thinking. So I started doing, eventually, I came to do this series called Portrait of a Woman, and there's lots of images and many, many videos on my channel that show how I make that work, um, and my thinking about the work, how it can be reproduced, and ways that I use my iPad. But I also wanted to show another piece that I produced as a, I'll do this, produced as a canvas. This is about 12 by 12. Um, and I used a number of techniques in this one. Actually, photograph, it looks like this flower, dried flower, botanical. And I often have been drawn to historic photos and then using my face. And I called this one Memories of Another Childhood, or sometimes I just call it Childhood Memories. And I can reproduce any of my digital imagery. Here's the back of it. In this form, canvas. And before COVID, I was showing work using this type of presentation, canvas prints. And I have an opportunity, and I may do it, to show the work locally. I'm not currently planning to ship anything. I'm taking a break from that, but to show the work in a local kind of cooperative situation. So I'll probably do that. And I live in Eugene, Oregon, and I was contacted by some people that are putting together a um, a group. I wanted to show you one other possibility of how the pieces can be shown, and this is going to be kind of reflective. It's on metal, and I have it in a plastic sleeve because I can handle it more easily. But this piece, I'm just going to hold it there. Um, is part of that Portrait of a Woman series, and it's called Barely, and it has shown in 2 or 3 online galleries and one in California during all of that during the pandemic. Um, so it's created with a block on the back for hanging, easy hanging. And if you see this and you're interested in any of this work, you can contact me here or on my website, which is my name, SusanDetroit.com. And it looks like the time is coming pretty soon that the video is going to go live on YouTube. And if you watch this after, I'm going to share it on other platforms. And you want to be in touch with me, ask me questions. There's a slight possibility I might do some teaching. I currently have a consulting business and I work with artists. If you're interested in knowing and learning what I know. I don't do like a major online class, but I currently work one-on-one in Zoom, and that's how I'm doing it. I'm going to go on to the. I'm assuming any moment now that the live video premiere is happening, because I've been on about over 15 minutes, and the time tells me it's 11. So that's was the timing for the premiere. And I will be on here again next week. I believe it's on the 26th, and I believe that live chat will be at 1:00. That's it for now. And like always, I super enjoy interacting with people and would love for that to happen in the future. Okay, thanks for watching, and I think I'm going to sign out. I'm going to sit here for a minute and look at see the what's happening with the videos. Yeah, it looks like it's premiering right now. Yeah. Oh, 48 seconds till it happens. So if you jump over to there, I'm gonna get the clip and copy it and put it in here so that you can see it. It's called Ice Cold, and it has some feelings about it. I like to make things that engender a lot of feeling and emotion, and it's live right now. Yeah, you can watch it. It's called Ice Cold. I use a variety of apps to create it, and then effects and transitions. I believe I created this one in CapCut, which is one of my favorite ways to create video. And I should give a shout out to Artist Relief Program, because that program was the place where I learned a lot of the editing that I do in videos. And also, I think that's it. Another way, which I mentioned, I'll just say one more thing, which is in the future, I'm hoping to be doing more live here and on Instagram. So if you click through to my Instagram, I'm going to bring that up. And if you're watching and the live stream, this is where I hope to be doing more live work in the future. That's the goal for me for 2022. More live, more fluid, more movement, which only can be good. All right, I'm signing off. Goodbye, and end of live stream.